Today I wanted to sit down and chat a little bit about my plans for this channel, my sewing plans in general, specifically my costume plans. I had big plans for 2020 and then Corona happened. I think all of us have a similar story to some extent. So yeah, Corona happened, working from home, events cancelled, and I lost my job, which is partly what inspired me to go onto YouTube. Not because I want to become a full-time YouTuber, but it reminded me that I should just go ahead and do the things that I want to do and try it. I just want to do it, so I'm doing it. Basically, that applies to my costumes as well. I had ideas for 2020. I had specific costumes planned for specific events. And because they weren't happening, neither did the costumes. I lost all of my costuming mojo. And even though I was planning to make this a costuming channel first and foremost, I ended up starting with some regular stuff. Basically, I figured sewing is sewing, so I might as well do what I feel like sewing. So I made a couple of skirts and I made a couple of dresses and altered some stuff. And slowly I've been feeling like I could get back to sewing costumes again. So for 2021, I want to start doing that more, and because now I'm on YouTube, I am planning most of them as YouTube projects. So that's what I wanted to go over today a little bit. Partly a preview of what's to come, and partly just me talking about the things that I want to do, even if some of them I won't put on YouTube. But most things I finish, I put on Instagram, so you can follow me there if you like to see stuff that doesn't end up having a video on YouTube. So, where shall I start? First off, welcome to my sewing studio. I've also been renovating this space over the course of 2020. That is actually also part of the reason that I did not make many costumes, because I wanted to be able to do those in a fully functional space, and most of my sewing was done around construction stuff. Well, not really construction stuff, but we were demolishing part of a built-in wardrobe and I had to paint the wall behind that when it became clear. Actually, you can see this desk over here. There used to be a wardrobe there. So that's going to be my new sewing space. So I'm kind of switching my room around. Over there used to be crafting. So crafting is moving over here next to the window and sewing is moving from here to there. So the first thing I want to talk about is a project that I have been wanting to do for a very, very, very long time. 2015 maybe? A little background. I've been following an artist on Tumblr and Patreon for a very long time. I don't think she's on Tumblr anymore, mostly Patreon and Twitter. Anyway, her name is Anna Landin and I really like her style. She does a couple of webcomics and a lot of illustration for stories and games. She does a lot of D&D and she illustrates her sessions. Go check her out. I like what she does, maybe you'll like her too. Anyway, at some point, a couple years back, she had this series where she would draw witches inspired by flavors of tea. I really liked her designs and the outfits that she came up with and the style and the looks of all these various different witches. But my favorite one that she did was the Turkish apple tea. Now, apple tea is my favorite, black tea with apple. It's so good. I'm a fruity tea person anyway, but apple is definitely my favorite. And I just really liked her design with the colors and, well, because it's Turkish, it has that aesthetic. The moment I saw it, I knew I wanted to make it someday. It was just an idea for a very long time, and somewhere in 2019 I actually went to a fabric market one day with a friend and found the perfect fabrics for this costume. I got this lovely creamy soft white and a rich vibrant dark tealish green, and I even found some gold thread that I might use for the details along the skirt, but I'm not quite sure how I'm going to be doing those. That is one of the reasons that I still haven't done this costume, because it intimidates me. I don't have any patterns ready that I can use for this. I'm going to have to figure out building this from scratch. I've actually done some sketching in Photoshop, trying to figure out the layers of this dress, to figure out what sort of garments I need to make and what sort of order of construction it's gonna happen in, especially the bit around the waist. I'm not quite sure if it's part of the dress or if it's a belt, but I guess that's the fun of trying to cosplay an illustration, trying to figure out how it actually works as a garment. So it's a big project. It involves a lot of experimenting and trials and mock-ups, and that is part of the reason that I haven't been doing it, but I really want to get started on it. And because it's such a big project, I want to put it on YouTube. Project number 2. This is also something that has been simmering for a while. Ever since Firefly Path published this pattern, I was inspired by it. I wanted to make it someday. A couple of months ago it was on sale, so I grabbed it and it's been in my stash for a while, but I wasn't quite sure what sort of look, what sort of fabrics I wanted to make this with. And finally I just went through my stash, basically busting it, going through lots of fabrics and bringing a lot of them to my local thrift store, some of which actually came from there. So yeah, I just basically bought them and returned them. Anyway, there were a couple of fabrics in there that were red, and red is not my favorite color. I basically don't have any normal clothes that are predominantly red, so I got these at thrift stores over the years because they looked nice, but I kept not using them because I just don't gravitate towards red. But going through my stash and looking through all of the piles and sorting them a little bit, that suddenly sparked an idea, and I figured that I could combine some of these fabrics and they would perfectly for this Firefly Path pattern. So I put them all in a project box, added the pattern as well, and I also included a little bit of cheesecloth that I had left from another costume that I'm going to dye red to match the rest of the colors. Inspired by the fabrics, I made a sketch of what the thing might look like. I'll talk about that more in the actual video, but the pattern inspired me anyway, so that's one of the projects that I want to be working on the next few months. Project number 3. I was gifted some bed sheets by a friend. They were new, but she didn't need them. They were kind of a grayish brown color, and I've already dyed half of it a dark blue and made a skirt out of it, but the other half is still pretty much undyed. I tried to make it green, but it came out basically still gray, so I'm gonna have to do that again. And I've been waffling a little bit on what to make of that, but I haven't watched the Queen's Gambit, but I've seen people's videos making that pinafore, and it made me realize that I need a pinafore like that. Now, I don't have any checkered fabrics, and I'm not really a fan of checkered fabrics or plaid, but this bed sheet has kind of nice stripes which look really cool in a circle skirt, and I think I can make it into interesting shapes in the bodice as well, so that's project number 3. I haven't decided yet whether this will be a YouTube video, but I guess we'll find out. Lastly, I have a smaller project that I want to do, which is more like part of an outfit than a full outfit. Over the years, I've made and gathered a couple of items that I wear for steampunk themed events, and I've been wanting to add like a bustle skirt to that for some time, like one of those lobster tail bustles. I think those look really cool. And for steampunk, you can wear them over the skirt or under the skirt, but you have to have one in order to wear it. So I also have a project box with supplies to make one of those lobster tail skirts. I still need boning for it, but I'll order that when I figure out what sort of boning I want to use. And the fabric for this I found in the thrift store as well. It's a bit of a soft creamy white again. I think it has dots on it. I haven't looked at it for a while, but it has some pre-built ruffles that I plan to make use of creatively, because, you know, they're already there and it will save me time making ruffles, and I think they look cute. Okay, I think that's it for the foreseeable future. I will undoubtedly get new ideas as the year progresses, but to be honest, those first 2 big projects are probably going to be challenging enough and are probably going to take enough time as it is. But since they're big projects, it will be a while before I'll have videos to share about those, so I might do some small stuff in between. I like to do more with history bounding, and I would like to give some of my older costumes the chance to shine in motion. I'm still working this out, but you'll see something about this on my channel. Alright, I think that's it. I guess it's time to actually start working on these and put my money where my mouth is, or I'll have no videos to show you guys. Okay, I'm going to end it right here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Ja, Casper, mag ik? Oh, ja. Hey! Ja, hey lieverd, kom maar even dan. Ja, daar ben je op camera. Ja. Oh no, you guys. Has this been in the shot the whole time? Hey Casper, doe je voorzichtig daar. En deze niet omgooien hoor, dan word ik heel suf. Wil je ook even op camera? Hey lieverd. Oké, mag ik nou eventjes mijn outro doen?